This is so familiar, making daub from my last build. I've got quite a lot of daub here, and it's not as much as it seems. I just want to see how many. Yeah, I've got plenty of sticks on me. I want to take at least half of these and turn them into wattle. Right, I think I might need a, yeah, that's it. There we go, 28. Not sure if that will be enough, but we've got materials on us. Let's go down to the library. Now, we have a bit of a task here because the wattle and daub I found was all one sort of type of wattle and daub. Whereas when you build wattle and daub yourself, and let me just show you. Right, and I'm sure many of you know this already, but if you don't, this is how you do it. You first put down the wattle, and then you've got 3 options with the daub. That's the first option, and that's the one that I've got, okay? Then you can do 2 clicks, and that gives you a lighter version, or 3 clicks, and that gives you an even more lighter version. Now, I don't know. No, I can't alter this once it's been made. So I have inherited this. So to make this look right, and of course we don't yet know what I'm going to put on this wall. So I might be going to a lot of trouble for nothing. So I think what I'll do is we will get the walls looking right. Yeah, that's okay. Let's get our wattle in. Right, and I'm going to put a much higher proportion. Right. See, it's so hard to go random, isn't it? You suddenly find yourself not random. And we will gradually move things around as we replace these walls. Now I've got, I need to go up, don't I? Yeah. So this is going to be quite a task to get this to look random. But we'll do the best we can. See, these 2 are next to this, so we will definitely have 2, 1, 2, 3, and then this one will be 1, 2, and that immediately gives a difference to this wall. I can't, that is the same, beige. Oh, I've got a different colour. Oh, fantastic, fantastic. That's all we need, is the wrong wattle and daub. It's easy to make. I can see myself mixing the 2 up. And in fact, that's what we will do. We'll just take a couple of random ones of this. It's close enough that we can do this. Yeah, that'll do just fine. Can't be too precious about these things. How funny. And you will use your daub up at a rate of knots which is unparalleled. So I think along here, that's it. The best thing about this is that as I move the blocks around, they will change. Yes, that is a much darker colour. What has happened? I probably used the wrong sand. Do I care? I do not actually. It's one of these happy accidents that sort of forced me into using this colour scheme. and I'm not unhappy about that at all. So we will get a lot of wattle and daub that we will use elsewhere. Not a problem. It looks much, see, this is all one colour. It looks much better when it's varied, and it looks better this colour actually. The colour difference is subtle. Otherwise I would have noticed it sooner. But what I don't, I'm going to move this entrance by the way when I've decided what I'm doing with this wall. But I think it's one of these differences. So I'm using, that's spare. I'm using limestone sand, soil and blue clay. Let's see if we can get some, I've got more grass here. Yes, there we go. So it's grass at the top, clay at the bottom, that and that. Yeah, that's 128 and 1. Okay, let's get back to our wattle and daub. It's really weird the way that sometimes you're forced into a colour scheme or not. Oh gosh, whoa, you've got your head through the railings, mate. Yeah, horrible thing. I thought that was a shiver for a minute. Right, let's have another look at this wall. How are we doing? Yeah, wattle and daub actually counts as stone. So when we're doing this, we have to remember that. Right. Okay. I've got one here that I inadvertently took out. Now, where are our differences? Weathered beige, tan here, there's one here. Right, you can come out. And you, my friend, can go in. And that's tan as well. All right, so we need, how many does this do? Where's my knife? 5. All right, but any odd tan? Right, now the next thing we have to do is to go up and get our stray blocks, and this leaves me with more tan wattle and daub. But what I am thinking of, yeah, is that I could do, that does look nice, doesn't it? Wow, that really does look nice. Look at the sun on it. I'm thrilled with that. This is an awkward place for this gate. It was great when I put it there, but my build has moved on. Now, do I have things down amongst the pigs? No, I don't. It's all come out the other side. Yep, that all looks consistent and it looks really good. Okay, now let's put our wattle and daub away. Okay, let's pop it in here. Yeah, if it's wattle and daub, let's put it in there. Okay, now the next thing I want is that I want to test my thoughts on indentation. So I want to grab my iron hand planer, and we will have a look at, I am going to move that, yeah, that's a nice little area. Let's go and see whether my thoughts on this will hold true. So, does it work on this stone? You've got to, it's an insulating block face, but does it work? Yeah, if it says insulating block face, it must mean it's chiseled, or does it? Let me make sure it's chiseled first. still learning on all this. So let's have a go at chiseling first. Hammer. Okay. All right. Let's get rid of this. Oh, wrong bucket. All right, let me get my hammer and then I'll have a quick go at this. Let's put that in the other hand. All right. All right, let me start by making sure that these are chisel blocks. Let's get my hand planer. Wow. Does that work with the fence? Yes. Oh my gosh. Is that enough indentation? No. Got trouble. Once you start chiseling, where do you stop? Oh my gosh. Oh, that just makes the difference, doesn't it? We've got the indentation without having to set it back a whole block. Oh my goodness. This makes a difference. And what else is going to make a difference? It's taking that down and putting it there. Right. You can probably gather from my voice and what I've said that I was really, really pleased with the Wattle and Daub and the walnut and the sort of colour scheme in the library when I first put it together. I think that I got carried away by the fact that I wanted to use those pale sort of tan tiles I'd found and the tan Wattle and Daub. You'll have realised halfway through that I got the wrong colour of Wattle and Daub because I assumed it was the colour I used in my last build. I was also, I think, taken away by familiarity in that I had built my entire house in my last map, and I don't know if any of you have seen those videos, but I built the entire place of walnut, this beautiful Wattle and Daub I've just made here, and bald cypress, of course. And it was such a pretty build. It was small, interlocked rooms, it was, you know, window boxes, terraces. It was really, really pretty. This build is different. I think from the moment I started, I built a tower, a stone tower to start with. I have built from scavenged materials, where in the last map I was collecting and making Wattle and Daub, growing and harvesting walnut. So I was basically making my own materials for the most part, at least to start with. But in this build, I had so many ruins that I have been on like a scavenger hunt. All the blocks behind me come from ruins. And when I looked at the top of this tower, when I looked at the forge I'd built next door, which is that amazing, huge sort of, it's not round, but it's a rotund look to it. It's actually an octagon. It was amazing looking at it. And you will remember, those of you who've been following me from the beginning, that my inspiration was the desert palace of Jabba the Hutt, whereas my inspiration for my last builds with the walnut and wattle and daub was very much the sort of English cricket pavilions you see that had, I mean, that one had proper you know, slanted roofs because the new wooden roofing blocks had just come in. So this is a totally different build, and the colour scheme is very much harsher. Here I'm using it's limestone, stones and different bricks, but I'm using it with ebony. And that's quite a stark contrast. And the whole feel of this build is more fortress. And the whole feel of my last build was more sort of pretty house. So putting a colour scheme that I love, which was the wattle and daub, the walnut, into this scheme, I love it because of its familiarity, but I have a sense it's the wrong thing to put in. I've got the end of a pig run and the end of a chicken run there, and they do look nice in that. The walnut I don't think matches at all. So I think I need to rethink that. And if I rethink the walnut, do I do it in stone? Do I do it in ebony? There's a thought. But I'm not sure that sort of pinky, gently subtle look is going with what is in fact quite a harsh colour scheme I've got going here. So that's one thing I'm not convinced about. And the other thing is the indentation, because when you indent like that, it's hard to put things on walls. And I am someone who likes to cover walls with trophies, banners, paintings, tapestries, you name it, I want it on the wall. And this is a library. I'm going to want big maps on the wall, and this isn't going to work. So I am seriously contemplating taking the whole lot down that I've just done in this video and starting again. And it's taken me some time to come to this view. Please let me have your views on this. I mean, I think what I've done is lovely, but I'm not sure it's like an odd section that I've slotted in rather than an integral part of the build. The other thing that doesn't help it is it's right next to my brick kiln with those wonderful yellow bricks that we found in somebody's cellar, in the cellar of the bathhouse. So I'm not convinced that that's a good match. Added to the fact that the next door room is white and blue, and I'm trying to pick up colours that match with it, and I think the whole thing is developing into a mishmash of different styles. So I'm going to keep working on this library, and you'll see as we go on that I try different things. And this video edition has actually been recorded quite a long way down the line, because I had a couple of days of really having a go at building. So I would really treasure your views, but I'm not sure that however nice it looks in small sections when you're just looking at that wall, I'm not sure this fits with the build. Guys, your views are always excellent and always welcome. Please let me know what you think. And leave a like, that would be helpful. Bye bye, my friends.